What is up, everybody? Time's from Nin, Dr. Feelgood. We're going to go to the doctor and say, hey, we're not feeling so good. We had a headache, or stomach hurts. She's going to say, have you tried Epic Experiment? We're going to say, no. Give me a double dose of that. So let's check. Yeah, we've got Volcanic Island, Reliquary Tower, Soul Ring. We can get in some quick mana. Who are we playing against? A Progenitus. I welcome. Let's go. Let's have some fun. We're going to keep. So with this Nin the Paint Artist deck, we're looking really just to have a bunch of fun. You know, with Nin, you can go like pinging death, you can pop your opponent's creatures, but we have Nin in here just to give us a hot shot of cards, just to, once we kind of deplete our initial hand, draw into some fun stuff. As far as our win conditions, we have like Enter the Infinite with Laboratory Maniac, and then we also have just Mizzix Mastery overloading our graveyard, Epic Experiment with some copy spells. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. So, ooh, is that an Epic Experiment? Yes, we're going to take that. So let's go. I'm going to put Vandal Blast on top. And I want Soul Ring, I want Spell Twine. And we're going to put Highland Lake. Yep. Now we'll draw that and we can put down the Flooded Strand. I don't really want to get into Vandal Blast right now. So let's get down. Let's go ahead and get down Nin. Because, yeah, I want to get Nin out so that way we can get into some quick. You're looking like the sweet spot for Nin is about 5 cards. You know, playing a blue-red and then activating about 5 colorless mana or some variation of that. So we're going to grab Steam Vent, shock it in. Get down Nin, coming in hot. And then pass the turn. So next turn we're going to get down Soul Ring, we'll have Island, we can get down Reliquary Tower to if we draw a bunch of cards. But yeah, so that's what Nin does. Really, so you get Nin down, and with this particular deck, we have a lot of ways to get into fast mana, and that's Ancient Tomb. We also have Gilded Lotus, Mana Vault. You definitely want one of those in your hand before you go off with like Epic Experiment, because you kind of want an Epic Experiment for about 10. And then if you have a copy spell, that makes it even sweeter. Let's go. We'll put Highland Lake in because it comes into play tapped, and get down Soul Ring. Then we'll play the land for next turn. Let's pass it to my opponent real quick. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have 6 coming in, which will be Nin for 4. Still going to wait till we get a little bit more mana before we activate that. We can Prophetic Bolt, though. Ooh, get into some Young Pyromancer. I like that. So let's go Reliquary Tower. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not enough to Prophetic Bolt and Young Pyromancer. Yeah, I'm still going to Prophetic Bolt on our opponent's turn. That way we can at least look at the top 4. You know, Prophetic Bolt is one of those cards that costs 5, but for what it does, it's a really nice card. I very much enjoy playing with it. You know, and then anytime you get to copy a Prophetic Bolt, it always feels a little dirty because you're looking at the top 8, dealing 8 damage. Feels really good. Okay, so we're going to pop it on our opponent's turn. He's a little... I don't know if we... Yeah, we'll go and send it to top. I don't know if I want to take out that Birds of Paradise. Yeah, let's send it up top. We're going to go to the face with it. So let's go blue, red. 1, 2, 3. Okay, put 1 into our hand. Yeah, we have Vidalcan Aether Mage so we can Wizard Cycle into something. Actually tempted just to grab another land for right now. I'd rather have Clone Legion in the graveyard. Not in the graveyard, in the in our actual deck. That way we can get into it. Just click in any order. There we go. Mysium Mortars. I'm actually going to fire that one off. So let's get down Misty. Let's go. Young Pyromancer. And it's impossible. It's completely possible to win the game out with elemental tokens. So get down Young Pyromancer. Let's go ahead and yeah, I like keeping him at 4 mana, especially if he's got a bunch of stuff going on there. I don't know what he's got going in there, but I don't mind spinning the Mysium Mortars on a Birds of Paradise. Especially since he doesn't Soul Ring or anything like that. And then, yeah, I don't like swinging in with Nin. If he has a Snapcaster or something, I don't know. I'm just, the 1 point of damage in a deck like this, I don't worry about it. If it's getting close, then I'll do something. But he's at 36, and we much rather have Nin to activate. So speaking of activating Nin, so we finally get to the point now to where we do want to activate Nin. Gets down Chandra. Oh, he takes out Young Pyromancer. Awesome. I will take that. So we can still use Nin to activate on the Elemental. Let's go and crack this Misty. Gonna grab an Island. This might be Progenitus Super Friends, I guess. Let's get down Manamo. And then we're looking at 1, 2. So 2 for the activation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He may have some type of removal. I don't want him to remove our elemental in response, so I'm actually going to go ahead and activate Nin, especially since we have Reliquary Tower. So I'm going to target the elemental. We're going to go blue, red, blue. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's click on these 2 colors. There we go. Draw 6 cards. Okay, I like this. Yeah, and we have no, doesn't matter what our hand is. Oh, get into Temple of the False God. That is good. Okay. Takes out Nin. That's okay. We kind of drew. That's Nin did her job. Was just give us a little. Hey, fill our glass back up. Thank you, Nin. Appreciate that. Make us feel good. So as far as next turn goes, we've got Temple. We've got Seething Song to generate a little bit extra mana. And we can get into a. Well, he takes our Soul Ring. We can get in a spot to where we get down a Goblin Electromancer. We can actually Wild Ricochet the Epic Experiment, but let's see. I'd rather Epic Experiment for a little bit more. And with him having Chandra out there, he can just keep pinging you in. So we're just not even going to worry about it right now. But Goblin is 2, power toughness of 2. So let's go. Let's get down Temple. And get down Goblin Electromancer. And as far as our opponent's turn, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have 6 mana. And we can even get into some Seething Song. So if you get something out like Desertion, counter an artifact or a creature spell. But we may be looking to Epic Experiment pretty big next turn. Because I want to get this Goblin Electromancer out, and then we'll see how much we're going to flip with the Epic Experiment once we pass it to our opponent's turn. But yeah, so we can Epic Experiments can be blue red, so right there. So we got 1, 2, 3. Then we cast Seething Song, that makes it 5 mana. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 from the land drop. So we're going to be able to Epic Experiment for 10. I like that. If we can get into 1 more mana, we can kind of get into the Enter the Infinite range. But usually, if you can pop an Epic Experiment for 10, that's you're doing something right. And that will make his commander a little bit smaller, because usually I've found that Progenitus decks, they hardly ever get their commander out, especially if we got some like 5-color Super Friends going on. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so you can see his Planeswalkers. But Nahiri. Nahiri's I really enjoy this Planeswalker. I played against it in Modern against the Jeskai control decks, and it really gives the control decks a nice little clock to in the game. And I played a lot of Modern, and I really enjoyed playing against Splinter Twin. I'm gonna go on a Modern tangent if you play Modern, but I really enjoyed playing against Twin. But whenever they banned Twin, I remember being kind of shocked. And now that we've gotten post Eldrazi, after the Eldrazi bannings, I've come to just love Modern even more than I ever have, just because there's viable blue control decks. Nahiri's not taking down the format, but it is definitely a deck you need to be aware of. It gives access. I've seen people splash red-white Prison with Nahiri in there. I mean, it's really... I feel that Modern's in a really good place, and I enjoy it. And if you are a fan of Modern, I'm going to be recording more Modern content coming up soon. It's just one of those things where... oh, man. Oh, he's just... Chandra's giving Goblin Electromancer the business right now. It's one of those things where I just wanted to take the content in my channel just kind of step by step. Ooh, Mana Crypt, yes. We'll take one of those. So let's go Mana Crypt. And he has 1 mana up, so let's go Mana Crypt. We're going to get Island down. Let's get red to colorless. Cast Seething Song. And this should be a nice little spread we're about to fire off. I'm going to close down Nin for right now. So let's go blue, Epic Experiment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this looks should be pretty good. Epic Experiment for 13. Yes, I will take that. So let's go. See what we get. Hopefully our opponent doesn't scoop. Playing Super Friends, so hopefully they'll let us resolve this. But yeah, casting Epic Experiment, man, for a really big number like this is always fun. Okay, so we don't really hit too much. We can tell them in performance. Do we have any copy effects? No. We can spell shift. We can actually, okay, so we can cast Blasphemous Act, spell shift that. We have no Clone Legion, so we're not even going to cast that. We can gamble, which I'm okay with that. I don't know what we've got in our hand. We can also personal tutor. So we need to make sure that stack's correct. So we're going to, I'd rather get personal tutor. Let's go personal tutor, and then we'll gamble. And then we're going to tell them and perform on our opponent, and then we'll Clone Legion. We can choose us with that. Okay, I thought it was target opponent. Okay, and then we're going to cast Blasphemous Act, and then we're going to spell shift the Blasphemous Act. Okay, so we're going to exile Blasphemous Act, and then we're going to see what we get into. Now with personal tutor, we'll get there when we get there. Reverberate. Let's go tell them in performance. Well, he may not have that many. Well, yeah, he's got creatures in there. But we can get into Clone Legion on us on Reverberate. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we spell shift into Clone Legion, same target. So we're gonna get 2 Goblin Electromancers. Like all of our instant and sorcery spells cost 2 less, 3 less now. We're gonna tell them and perform and see what we get into. Do we hit a Consecrated Sphinx? Is that what we hit? It's hard to tell when they do this tell them and perform. I'm not entirely sure what we get into, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, I don't see any other creatures. So it should be consecrated. I love that. We've got, I forgot since we did it stacked like this, we've got 4 Goblin Electromancers. Hopefully our opponent doesn't scoop right now. We're here to have some fun, and he's playing Super Friends. But this is like the 5th Nin video I've tried to record, and people always scoop when I get a big epic. Yeah, we get Consecrated Sphinx. Okay, so we're going to gamble. And let's go for, let's see what we want to get into. Now we've got mana for days, and so we can actually Red Sun Zenith for a lot. I'm almost tempted to go for Red Sun Zenith and getting a Howl of the Horde because we'll be able to attack in. That way we can amplify Red Sun Zenith with a lot of mana. Or if we get Mizzix's Mastery, we can do it all over again. But we don't have too much going on in the graveyard. So I am going to go for a Red Sun Zenith. See if it sticks. Okay, we mill Artillery West. Okay, now with Personal Tutor, let's grab Enter the Infinite is 10, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we've actually got enough to go Enter the Infinite. So I'm going to grab Enter the Infinite. That way we can get it. We have a couple different options. So Enter the Infinite goes in the top. Look at all those Goblin Electromancers. Their little sparking hands. So we're going to draw 2 cards. We're going to draw Enter the Infinite. Yes. And Brainstorm's actually in our graveyard, so we've got to figure out another way to draw a card. But we'll make it work. Gilded Drake. Gilded Drake is a snake oil salesman. Hey, I have this really beautiful Drake over here. I will trade you for that Consecrated Sphinx. Yeah, sounds good. How many miles does the Drake having? Oh, low miles. Only 1 owner. That's how I feel when Gilded Drake comes out. Look at him, man. You know, he's like, he's car salesman you so bad right now. He's like, yeah, this Drake's really good, man. and then it just you're stuck with him. Like he's like, I live at your house now. I'm a hobo. You got hobo tricked. Okay, so probably gonna enter the infinite next turn. So we have 4. It's just the blue mana. We're gonna draw an entire library, and that's probably going to be the best way to close it out since we are playing against Super Friends. We could go for some like crazy Red Sun Zenith with like Pyromancer's Goggles, but so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Takes out our Mana Crypt. So Enter the Infinite is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's going to cost 4 less. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We should get really close if we go for Enter the Infinite. Yeah, I think I like that because he is tapped out right now, and we'll be able to get down Scalding Tarn or Island. Oh, the ultimate on Chandra! Oh, the humanity! Oh, there goes our beautiful Goblin Electromancers. All right, so now what we're hoping for is to draw into. Let's see, we have Spell Twine, so we can cast that next turn. We can cast both of them. Now, what do we want to get into? Elite Arcanist. That's not... Elite Arcanist, what? That's not good, man. So, let's go Island. So, we're looking at 6 for Spell Twine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10 mana. So, we can Wild Ricochet on Spell Twine. Now, what do we want to cast? There's a Grim Tutor over there. We can Grim Tutor for a Mizzix's Mastery. And I think that's the only thing he has in his graveyard. But now if we wild Ricochet on the Spell Twine, there won't be another spell target in the graveyard. But we can cast it once. There's Mizium Mortars. We got Seething Song, Blasphemous Act. We could Blasphemous Act. That's going to be 13 damage. Then we can search our library for a card. Or we can Telemon Performance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I just want to make sure I counted correctly. We can get into a... Okay, let's go for Spell Twine. I'm going to go for... Let's go for Personal Tutor and Grim Tutor. I'm going to cast Personal Tutor, cast Grim Tutor. So let's grab... Let's grab Rite of Replication. Make a bunch of Sphinxes. Oh, dang it. We stacked that wrong. Should have done it. Well, either way we cast. I just realized that they both have the shuffle effect. So let's go Rite of Replication again, because I want to get those Consecrated Sphinxes. And we can Red Sun Zenith. Is anybody getting close to ultimate? Yeah, let's go on and take out the Nahiri. And then we'll redirect that to Nahiri. Not to Johnny, not to Liliana, yes. Adios, Nahiri. Okay. Alright, so next turn we're looking at Rite of Replication on Consecrated Sphinx, and then we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Should be able to make our land drop. We're going to be able to hold all of our cards in our hand. Yeah, that's, I like that. So we're going to make this graveyard just a little bit bigger so you can see. Gets down Jace. Yeah, Rite of Replication is 9 and 5, 4 and 5, so that's 9. We've got, oops, dang it, accidentally clicked through that. Did not mean to do that. He's which pile am I going to click? I was adding up my mana and I was clicking OK really quick, so sorry, misclick. No, he'll probably think I'm being serious or something. I was gonna make a joke saying you should have taken the empty pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll have 11. Coming in on Scalding Tarn, 11 mana. I like the Rite of Replication. So as far as his Planeswalkers go, yeah, I like getting 5 Consecrated Sphinxes. That sounds pretty good. And, yeah, well, yeah, I like that. We'll definitely get into some shenanigans with that. So every time we draw on like 10 cards every time he draws a card. Mizik, the Izzet, dude, an Izzet Guild Mage would be so proud right now. And we also need to speed up. It's 13 minutes. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself, getting a little feisty. Alright, so we're going to Rite of Replication. Get down Scalding Tarn. On Consecrated Sphinx, let's go double blue, double colorless. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, yes, yes. You took our Goblin Electromancers. We're going to get my own swarm of Consecrated Sphinxes. And I'm actually going to grab an island. I mean, a mountain since we're so close on mana. And we're going to get down the Signet. That way we can get into have enough mana to deploy and have a lot of fun. So I'm going to F6, go to our opponent's turn, and then we'll add up how much mana we get. We should be drawing 2, 4, 6, 18. We'll be drawing 10 cards now. Yes. We're having fun. And I love that this Consecrated Sphinx came off a Telemann performance, and now I'm Rite of Replicating it. That's always good right there. Yes. I did yes. And the fun thing about, oh my gosh. What is going on? Is that correct? You may draw 2 cards? Whenever an opponent draws a card, hold on, we're gonna use that. Yeah, because we keep drawing a card, so he keeps. Okay, yeah, I got it now. I was a little confused as to like I thought Magic Online had crapped out, but I'm gonna keep drawing cards. Yeah, we're gonna use that ability. Click OK. What? I don't even know what we're looking for. We need to get Izzet Charm. Let's see what we're getting into. We get into Gilded Lotus. Getting Stitch in Time. Okay, so we got some like increasing vengeance on Stitch. I want to get into a bunch of extra turns. We're gonna keep doing it. He might be able to beat us this turn, but I like drawing my hand out. Yeah, because we can blast a bunch of Stitch in Times. And let's get these Consecrated Sphinx a little bit. Oh my gosh, look at all those triggers. I'm going to go and close this commander for right now. We can see the beautiful stacks right there. We're going to use his ability. We're going to click OK, use his ability. When I made this match, I said anything goes, and I'm glad our opponent's being a good sport with it. We're just getting to the point where we need to be careful. But we do have one copy effect, Increasing Vengeance. We have a Wild Ricochet. So we've got, I'm going to start writing this down so I don't have to keep counting. So we've got Wild Ricochet, that costs 4. Then we've got Stitch in Time for 3. And I don't know if our opponent's trying to scoop or not. I hope not. This is pretty crazy right here. Or maybe his computer has melted. So we've got, we'll be making a land drop. We can get into some weird Gilded Lotus action, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 mana. So we keep very well Stitch in Time for 3, Wild Ricochet, that's 7, and then 9 for Increasing Vengeance. So we should be able to take a bunch of extra turns with that. Now what we want to do, I don't know. But, you know, we'll let the cards fall before us. Now, I don't know if our opponents... See, now, him drawing a bunch of cards, he's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 7 mana. 4, 5, 6, 8. He's got 7 mana, so he kind of gets to this point to where he's okay, there we go. I was hoping that our opponent hadn't just walked away. So we're going to click OK. I just want like one more copy spell, so we can make sure we can get a bunch of increasing vengeances. Like we're looking for Twin Cast right now, pretty much. Waiting on Twin Cast. Get into Ralzeric. Impulse. I'd imagine trying to play this game in Paper Magic and you're like, hold on, let me go get my card holder. Your opponent's like, what? We need a card holder for this? Yeah, we're playing the Scratch Off Lotto right now, trying to get into a Twin Cast, which is not in our graveyard. I don't want to keep digging. Hasn't been exiled. Okay. Use Consecrated Sphinx, Merchant Scroll, ooh, Ancient Tomb, like a little bit of extra mana. But yeah, that's what we're going for Twin Cast right now, because we'll have enough mana to do all of that. And eventually we'll get into Mizzix's Mastery too, so we can overload the graveyard. So Mizzix's Mastery or Twin Cast. That's what we're looking. Where are man? Are y'all on the bottom? Watch it be like they're both the last two cards. Oh no, we're not trying to cast a spell. We're gonna use. Okay, we get into Twin Cast. We are okay now. We're gonna click no. So now I'm just hitting my hotkey no. Oh my gosh. Now you know the what it's like. I feel like I'm like a one-man band. I've got my harmonica up here, got my funny hat, I've got the drum in front of me. I don't even know how many Consecrated Sphinx triggers we got here, but I'm literally just tapping my hotkey for OK and then my hotkey for no, just alternating like a rowboat. Do 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 do. Yeah, I may cut this out. Alright guys, so I waited on my opponent and I don't know if he quit or what happened, but we have a ton of Consecrated Sphinx triggers that we need. Like, I'm holding the mouse down and this is how many we're going across right now. They're just not moving. And you'll see me get to the end in here just a second. There, finally hit the end. So you saw how long I was holding. So we have that many Consecrated Sphinx triggers on the stack right now. I don't think my opponent's coming back. I don't know if he left or what. And I'll be honest, I have recorded, this is my 5th Nin the Paint Artist I've tried to record today where somebody has either quit or done whatever. So I try and give you some really cool action whenever I play Nin the Paint Artist, and we had a really nice epic experiment, and we replicated a Consecrated Sphinx. So I'm still going to go ahead and post it. You know, we technically didn't close it out, but he's got a 10-12, so you know, he could activate Liliana, just take out one of our creatures. He could put +1 counters on there. We can block right there. Our creatures get -1, and so what I'll explain what I was doing, so that way you can kind of envision it in your head. We had Stitch in Time, which when you flip coin, take extra turn, and we also had 3 copy effects in our hand. So we had enough mana to cast Stitch in Time, and then we're going to Twin Cast it, Wild Ricochet it, and then we had one more copy effect. And so we were going to take a bunch of Stitch in Times and then try and win the game that way. We also had Laboratory Maniac, to where we can draw our entire library. We had Infinite too, so we had a bunch of different ways to win next turn, and I'm not sure, he drew 36 cards, so I don't know what he could have possibly drawn into, but this was a really good game, and I enjoyed playing it, and unfortunately I'm not going to have the win for you because my opponent has stepped away, but yeah, at some point, man, I've got to get to y'all an in video. I try, and it's It's just, it bums me out when people quit. Like, I finally get to the spots where I'm casting an epic experiment and then just right click quit. I was like, man, we just built up for this big finale and we don't get to do it. So, hopefully you like the 5 consecrated sphinxes. I enjoyed it. It's a ton of triggers right there. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks guys.